Hey guys, good evening. Vishal here from SSB Properties. It's been a long time. I just thought of, getting some points to share with you guys. As you all aware of, Karnataka Government is coming out with a parking policy, wherein whoever is parking their cars on the roads, they will be penalized or they will be charged on a monthly basis. There are two, three aspects to this. One, I have seen in many of the areas where, the roads were very small. And on top of it, people who had built the houses, I'm talking about old Bangalore where, so many years back, people had built their houses, did not even expect that each person would buy a car in those days. I'm talking about in the 80s and 90s, 80s or 80s plus or before 90s. So many of the houses we have seen, they have built their houses, beautiful, wonderful, beautiful houses, but they failed to make a parking space. They would have just made a small portico. And in many of the buildings, we have seen that some people have built a garage, but later on, to succumb to the commercial aspects, they have turned those parking space into a shop or or an office or a godown, and they are getting renters from there. There are two ways to think it is. One way it is good and one way it is bad. Now, what has happened because of that issue? People have started parking a car on their outside their house on the road. Now, just imagine the size of the basic size of a road in central Bangalore. You see, it's around 25 feet. Sometimes there are some areas which are just 15 feet. Also, let us talk about something which is 25 feet on a road where the road is 25 feet because of the improvement of the areas and laying of roads on an average. The height of the roads have increased. To get to that level, the older houses have come slightly below the road level. Here there are a lot of issues because you just can't get your car inside the property. These are the old areas which I'm talking about. The newer areas, what has happened? People have built, considering that tomorrow roads might, take away, come up. People started building houses at a little height. I'm talking about in the 90s and late 90s. People started building their houses at a height of around 2-3 feet above the road level. Here, what has happened once the drainage work was going on or has been improved, there the slabs have kept in an inclination way so that from both the sides, at least 4 or 5 feet are going away on the inclination of the approach to the car parking or approach to the property. Here, if somebody parks a car, suppose you're parking on the footpath, the government says you cannot park a car on the footpath because it is meant for people to walk around. So they are going to penalize on that. And if you park on the road, assuming 25 feet road, there are houses on both the sides. If one person is parking outside the house on one side, we are left out with just 15 feet of the road. Suppose there is another person parking on outside his property, which justifiably he says outside of my house I can park my vehicle. Where is the way to go pass by for another vehicle? This is a big nuisance. But we can't help it. The areas have been designed in this way. Had the roads were 40 feet wide, things would have been better, or every property should have built a parking out inside their premises. Now, coming down to what is the future. Here, considering all this aspect, I feel I see a ray of hope, or I see a opportunity for the owners of land of the plot which they have not built. It's lying vacant. I would I would ask those owners to look into an opportunity where you convert your land, make a proper long bigger gate. I know people will not build immediately. If you have kept these plots like that only for maybe for your future house or for your children or whatever, you're staying in out of country or you're staying in an apartment as of now, that piece of plot can be utilized. There will be two benefits here. Your plot is open and it is leveled. There are no encroachment happening. No encroachment happening. At the same time, people can park their cars inside. Maybe you can speak up with the neighbors. Anybody can speak up with the neighbors and ask, boss, I have a 30-40 plot or a 40-60 plot. I will make it level. I'll spend a few thousand rupees. I'll make it level. I'll give a big large gate. Each one of you, whomever you know in that area, whomever you know as a friend, you can ask them to park in that parking place. Let them give you some revenue. See here, you will get a, you will get some revenue from a property which is just lying like that. My dear owners, look into this aspect, and probably you can work out some deal and get some money on a monthly basis. It might, of course, it's not a big amount, but still, even if you collect 1,000 rupees from each car on a 30-40 plot, maybe 3 or 4 cars can be parked. 4,000 you can earn in a month, but understand, you are helping your neighbors to park their car in your property. This way, you are building a relationship with your neighborhood. Your property is just being utilized for something, and you are getting some revenue. My dear friend, look into this aspect. My name is Vishal V. Parwani from SSB Properties. Guys can get in touch with me on 9611107558. If you guys are looking for something like this, some arrangement, kindly get in touch with me. Maybe we can look into some possibilities where we are of any help to you. Have a nice day. Great evening.